So when you're going on a job interview, you make a big impression with what you say. There are some things you might want to remove from your vocabulary, or Randy Wooden says there might be some things you want to add in. Isn't that right, Randy?
It sure is.
Okay, so the way we present ourselves depends on, you know, we talk. That job interview is critical.
Well,
you need to make all of the right moves.
It's
right?
interpersonal communication. We've talked before, the percent of interpersonal communication that is the actual wording that we use is only 7%. So we'll talk that 7% today.
Okay.
First of all, verbal cushions, something we've talked in the past, is something that you want to use in conversation to, first of all, acknowledge the question, buy a little time to think what you're going to say.
A verbal cushion.
And also to drop defenses. Example.
Okay.
Brad, I see on your resume you haven't worked for, what, 8 months now?
And you got to figure
what's
out,
up with that?
I'm trying to figure out at that point, how do I explain, what do I say?
People want to get defensive and kind of look down and that. What if you said, and here's the cushion, what if you said, you know what, I'd probably have that same question if I were in your shoes. Let me address that. It allows me, again, time to think. I'm acknowledging that I'll get to the answer.
Okay.
But it also allows to say, I'm not scared, I'm not defensive. And we use cushions all the time in everyday speech. We don't realize it. What I want people to become aware of is to be consciously cognizant of using cushions in stressful times, because it can really be an icebreaker and allow for conversation and not defensiveness.
You come across a lot better.
You sure do.
Okay, so that's something we're going to add in. What are things maybe you want to take out of your vocabulary? I'm reading that it's probably
for sure. Like really, avoid filler words.
Okay.
Silence can be very, very intimidating in an interview. Very intimidating. If I stare at you,
you ask a question and somebody's waiting for an answer, your first tendency is the well,
look away. An occasional one is fine. Just like when we're on TV live, I'm more aware of not saying like, you know, sure. If I'm out in my jammies at my favorite big box retailer, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But when the game is on, be aware of filler words. Try to avoid those. I'll tell you one other thing, too, that's important. And we're not here to talk strategy for answering questions and what to say, but remember to ask questions, because asking questions does a couple things. One is it shows that we're equal, that we're able to have a conversation and not have the employer do all of the asking and me just sitting there taking it.
You know, I think that's how people see an interview is the employer's going to ask, what am I going to say when they ask questions? They don't think about asking questions in return.
Bingo. And at the end of the interview, they'll say, do you have questions for us? And a lot of times,
your answer is no.
I don't think
you should. I think it shows an interest in what you're going to be doing and the company.
It also, by asking questions, will allow me to buy some time to relax a little bit. Otherwise, I'm on the defensive. I'm answering questions the entire time. This allows me to control the conversation and to get information to help me do a better job of figuring out, is this a job I want to do?
And as you said, this isn't telling people what to say during the interview. It's how to say it, making that presentation, making yourself look better.
Hey, at the end of the day, two things when it comes to hiring. One is, I've got to know you can do a good job for me. The other is, I have to feel like you fit in, that I like you. And being conversational and being relaxed and authoritative, slowing down a little bit, makes you sound more professional, and that helps with the bonding part and the fitting in part. It really does.
Randy, great ideas. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
As always, Randy can actually help in your job search. You can give him a call, 336-776-6829, or email him at procenter@goodwillnwnc.org. That's Goodwill, Northwest North Carolina. Well, once again, procenter@goodwillnwnc.org.